Good afternoon, everyone. Hey guys, this is Bruce Marshall from Simpler Trading with the nightly market update for Wednesday, January the 19th. And another crazy day today. It just gets a little bit wilder each day. We've had this pattern. I'm looking at the ES here. This is the best, broad representation we can get of the overall market. And, we've had this same pattern for many, many days in a row now where we open up, pretty strong one direction. We bounced on the overnight, the light gray is the overnight session, the futures. And we bounce, ripping higher, higher, higher. This looks like it's going to be great. And we're going to, make a big move higher here. And then it totally turns and goes the other way. And then we're going to rip higher again. And then it totally fails. And then we're going to rip higher again here. And if you see this pattern, you would think that we maybe come up here, but instead we go free falling straight down here. Very crazy action, and this has been going on day after day after day, right? So from the high up here at 46.02 down to 45.21, what is that? 81 points. So, if you look over here, oh, the SPX was down 44 points. Well, that's pretty bad. Well, it had an 81 point swing. So, back and forth, and down. This has been, again, pretty typical. As you know, if you've been trading this lately, very hard to get on the right side of this move, because you have to switch gears several times intraday, and really, really be on your toes to do all right in this kind of market. Doesn't mean you can't make money. We've got trades and strategies that that are working. Some work better than others in this kind of market. Obviously, I'm actually doing a class on a butterfly strategy that's used for this market. If you haven't seen that, check that out. It's Bruce at Simpler Trading. You can email me and I can help you with it, or it is on our site at simplertrading.com. But let's take that thought process here. This is a one-day chart, so let's go out and look and kind of see what we're looking at here. So you guys know I like to start with small time frames and work my way back out. So this is a 20-day chart, and as you can see, 45.20. That's right there, right where we ended the day today. 45.24 on the ES. 45.20, so basically in the same spot. 20 days later, we came all the way back up to this voodoo tree line, approached it there a couple of times, got close, came up here, just tapped it, and then we just fell, all the way back down. Now this white line here is a snow line, pretty important, and I'll show you why in a second. But again, you see these one-way moves, just strong. This is great. We're going to hit a new all-time high, and everything's great. And then we fail. And what's behind all this is there's several things going on. Inflation is the highest it's been in, fill in the blank number of years. It keeps changing lately, but it's a long time. And, supply chain problems and all of the snowball problems going on with the economy really not looking so stellar, Also, the bigger drivers, interest rates, of course. Treasury yields are continue to move against us, move higher, and the Fed is, going to raise rates and all that kind of stuff. How much are they going to raise? How fast are they going to raise? That kind of thing. That's what's given the market so much uncertainty here. So market doesn't like uncertainty, and that's why we keep having these. We get going, and then we get a whiff of some interest rate hike sooner than we expected, and then we're waiting for data points, and data points come out, and they suggest, faster move on rates and things like that. So that's what's driving a lot of this. But let's take out, or most of this probably. And we are going into earnings season right now. It started this week, and so far very mixed, and I don't think overall they're going to be very good because of all the reasons we just mentioned, supply chain constraints. We're going to have a lot of issues with pricing pressure and labor and all this kind of stuff, and which will affect guidance going forward, which will really affect more than even the earnings themselves. But we'll see. We'll have Amazon and Google and all the big ones, that come out here in the next couple of weeks. So again, kind of be ready, be ready for that. Let me show you this. Let's go back here to the ES and let's go out a little bit longer time frame and kind of see what we're looking at here. These are Voodoo Lines. I was very hopeful, optimistic that this snow line that we were looking at, that white line, was going to hold. It did not. We broke it. Of course, we broke it there, and we got a really sharp rally off that. You could say we broke it there. That's a wick actually, and we had a very strong rally off that. So do we rally back up here? Who knows? Or does this lead to more selling and we come to the next level, which is a tree line, or the next level, which is a fire line? And I don't know. I really don't know. I told you guys about 3 weeks ago that I'm, officially in, had gone from a bullish overall sentiment to a, neutral at best. I hadn't really gone bearish and started shorting this thing, other than like really small intraday kind of stuff, but scalping and that kind of thing. But this market's looking very sketchy and not very strong right now. In fact, check this out if you haven't seen this. So the NASDAQ here looks even worse. Same general look and feel to it. This is what's been leading us pretty much the whole time, the last probably 5-8 years. Is basically the Amazon's, Apple, Google, Tesla, Netflix, all that kind of stuff, Facebook, and they're not anymore. And the NASDAQ's reflecting that, and because they're interest rate sensitive, and rates going up does not bode well for those companies. So do we come back down here? Pretty good chance we do. Again, will depend on what's going on in the next couple of weeks with earnings and all that stuff. But we're about 10% down right now, which we are getting into, correction territory. Bear market starts at about 20%. We're not there yet. That'll be down there at the 14,375-ish kind of area. But we are not looking good, and the NASDAQ typically leads the market, which is leading the S&P, etc. So, keep an eye on that. And what I'm a little fearful of is that, when we do get bounces, strong bounces, they'll be sold. So it's going to take a change in the something from the Fed, something, is going to need to happen to change the sentiment of the overall market if it's gonna change quickly. So keep your eye out for that. Also, again, earnings the next couple of weeks. Keep your eyes out for that. Very important. Right now, keep some powder dry. Be very nimble in this market. Take profit when you can get it. And that is what I'm looking at right now. We just don't know that much, but there's just too many uncertainties in the market, and again, the market does not like uncertainty. So with that, let me wind it up here. Try to join us in the rooms if you can, the main room or the bias room, and we're still trading, we're still looking for setups and watching. Is just trying to be careful about it and be as nimble as we can and do it very strategically, because this is the market to be careful in. So with that, let me wind it up. Thank you guys for the time, and I will talk to you soon. Take care.
Without simpler trading, I could not have financial independence.
This is one of the best investments I ever made in my life.
It's helping me find consistency.
It's one of the things that won me